Hey everyone, welcome to Something Bigger of Nerdcast. We're back again. It's been a while, a couple weeks. Well, anyway, like we've said in the past, this is a podcast, and it's actually our 7th episode. Yep. I can't believe we've been doing this for 7 episodes long. And well, anyway, in this episode, we will be covering Fox's Sleepy Hollow. For the first 2 episodes that they have aired so far. And tonight they're going to air their 3rd one, so that's going to be interesting to see.
Yep.
As of right now, there really isn't anything newsworthy for Sleepy Hollow that we know about, but if you know anything, please feel free to contact us and let us know, and we will include it in some way, shape, or form on our sites and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. Time allowing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm Kimberly, in case you can't remember. It's been a while, so yeah. And so let's kind of hop to it. Emily, if you can recall.
All right. Yeah.
What happened in the first episode of Sleepy Hollow season 2?
Okay. So, in case you can't remember, in case you didn't catch that when Kimberly said my name is Emily. I hope you remember me. Since that was like 2 weeks ago, it's hard for me to remember. So I wrote it all down on Tumblr. So if you get the chance, you can read my full episode review.
Ignore the squeaky chairs.
Yeah, ignore the squeaky chairs. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm fat. No, I'm not fat. Just kidding. I like to think I'm fat sometimes, but I'm not. People tell me I'm not anyway. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Get to the point.
Anyway, Sleepy Hollow. I'm rambling. I was up really early, so like all weekend, and so my brain is to the point where I'm just rambling. So
we're college students, in case we haven't made that clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, life sucks sometimes. Anyway. Highlights of our days.
Yes. So Sleepy Hollow, episode 1. It basically began with Ichabod and Abby in what can be safely assumed to be purgatory. Only they don't know that, but like we as audiences, it takes us a few seconds, to realize, oh, right.
If only they had Castiel there to confirm.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Except no, we don't want Cass in purgatory.
No, we don't.
We don't want that again. No. Sorry if that was a spoiler for Supernatural for you guys, but that was season 8.
Yeah, I'm sure they've seen it, maybe.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, watch it. But anyway, Sleepy Hollow. So, they're in purgatory, and they were both told that Jenny, Abby's sister, and Katrina, Ichabod's wife, and a witch, were both killed, and that a year has passed since, and we're led to believe that it's Ichabod's birthday, because Abby's got candles and a cake, and it was really funny, because she's like, she brings the cake and holds the lit candle up to him, and he's like, what do I do? And she's just like, you blow it. You make a wish and blow it. So then Ichabod starts saying, and she's like, no, you keep the wish private and secret and to yourself in your head. And he's like, oh, well
this is stupid.
Yeah. So then, they're talking about that, and then, they realize, they don't realize, they find out that they need a key, so then they go to, research this key.
Well, that was before they, they did.
This was
still in there, because they were in that warehouse place. They were looking through all the files and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when they got called to duty.
Yeah, so then they go to HQ, and they go through and start looking up stuff about this key, and we find out that Ben Franklin.
Yes.
It's the key from Ben Franklin that he had tied to the kite or whatever. With the lightning, that experiment. But anyway, so they're still seeing. Sorry, I'm chewing a mint here, so I'm pausing and stuff. I'm losing track of what I'm trying to talk about.
Talk about Sleepy Hollow episode 1.
Yes. I keep losing my train of thought. I am sorry. But anyway, so throughout while they're, sitting there and trying to look for this key, there's different clues throughout the sequence that tells us that they're definitely in purgatory and that Ichabod is actually still in the coffin, technically, that his son Jeremy had placed, or aka Henry Parrish, had put him in at the end of the season finale.
Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
This is going to be all about spoiler alerts, so
yeah,
sorry.
So yeah, but anyway, so like Ichabod, like there's points where Ichabod can't breathe, and Abby's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just had like a little spell there. It's okay. I'll be fine." But that's a hint to us, the audience members, and the characters in the show that something is not right. So they're looking for this key and whatnot, and we find out that Ichabod was Ben Franklin's apprentice, and that Ichabod doesn't really like Ben Franklin. And the first time that they meet, the first time that we see Ichabod and Ben Franklin, which would be the night that they were supposed to do the experiment with the key, Ichabod's walking up to Ben Franklin, and he's completely, Ben Franklin has no clothes on. He's taking a bath outside in the nude.
As Ichabod had said, indecently exposed.
I laughed really, really hard.
Of course.
It was really funny. But, anyway.
So this historical key is not just the key.
It's not just a key. But we don't know that yet. But they know that it can be used for something, and that something is tied to purgatory. So, because they're in purgatory right now, they don't understand what's going on. So, they think that they've got Henry Parrish locked up in a cell underground. So they go visit him, or if you want to call him Jeremy or whatever, dumbass, or I've got several names for him that I probably shouldn't say aloud. But yeah, so suddenly when they go visit Henry, that's when their eyes are opened to the fact that nothing but the information about the key, which they now find out that it is a key to purgatory. It can open purgatory up without, the whole. It's essentially a loophole.
Yeah.
So
without
they don't have
exchange.
Yeah, with the exchange, leaving one person there in order to taking someone else out.
Yeah.
So Ichabod promises to go get the key and return to save Abby, and the rest of the episode is focused on finding the key and getting Abby back. So Ichabod is basically, thrust back into the
modern world.
Yeah, the modern world. He's laying in the coffin. He's laying in his coffin. He's trying to figure out. His eyes open. He's like, okay, so I've been in here, yeah, and I gotta get out. I have to get out. So doesn't he try banging it or something first?
First,
and then
he records himself.
Then he records a living will on his phone, which I am surprised that he even figured out how to do that. But with his luck,
Abby tried it before.
But with his luck, it doesn't save.
None of that recorded.
So he sort of tosses the phone to the side, and then he realizes that there's sulfur in the dirt, in which he's buried, because he's buried in one of those really old, wood coffins, that
old ones, yeah,
aren't really, they're not sturdy or anything. They're kind of just there. So there's holes and stuff in them. It's very flawed.
Just slabs of board put together.
Basically. So then, he's like, oh, I can light this on fire. So I
in the event that I should die.
So then he does magic, and not really does magic, but he makes it go boom. Because he's like, oh, sulfur and stuff, so yeah, it's basically, you can use
the Revolutionary War again.
You can basically make it gunpowder, so, he makes it go boom, and he gets out. It was a very explosive escape.
Yeah. He seems to escape being buried in the ground a lot.
Yeah. It's his thing. So then he goes off, and meanwhile, Henry is trying to find the key, and he knows that Jenny had gone to get some of the files from what's-his-face. I can never remember his name.
The captain who got his head chopped off.
The sheriff. The first sheriff before Captain Irving.
Yes.
I can never remember his name. If you remember it.
Abby's old partner.
No, her old boss.
Boss. Just kidding. It's been a while.
So then Henry has Jenny held in a warehouse. Ichabod goes and finds out where she is. She finds out where he is, or that he's escaped or whatever from this, and he goes and helps her out. And meanwhile, we meet John Cho's character again. I forget his name, but he was the dude that was being controlled by Headless.
Yeah, like his neck broken and twisted in all weird directions.
He was a servant of Moloch, but
he's the guy who plays on Selfie, he's on Selfie now. But if you don't watch that show, and you are a Star Trek fan, he's in the newer versions of Star Trek. He plays Sulu in those. That's basically the episode. All about Ichabod and Jenny try to go and find a way to get to Purgatory so they can use the key to open the door and get Abby out. Which, obviously, not really a spoiler, because you need Abby for the rest of the season, so they have to do. So, but.
And, she's the other witness, so she can't die. It's absolutely crucial for her and Ichabod to stay alive.
Yep.
Because as witnesses, they have to stay alive.
And they just gotta, in this episode, they have to kind of figure out how to get Abby out without letting Moloch out, too. Because that's gonna be a big, huge problem if they let Moloch and his army
minions.
Of dead peoples. Yeah, minions.
His zombies.
Yeah, his zombies. Out. They need totally Sleepy Hollow and Supernatural crossover.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Happen.
That'd be awesome. Well,
yes.
Because, isn't CW somewhat owned by Fox? Or am I going crazy?
CBS.
Okay.
Yeah, CW is CBS partnered with Warner Bros.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's just our local station. KPLR is tied to KMOB.
Well, that's only for
that's just our local.
That's the news.
That's just it's just our local thing. So
yeah.
But anyway, Sleepy Hollow. We've gotten off topic quite a bit here so far. We apologize. It's gotten to that point in the semester where we're just like,
day.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Now,
and it's a Monday.
Now we have kind of. We leave off with episode 1. Abby's out.
And then we have the embodiment of the Horseman of War, which is the Black Knight suit of armor. And we can talk about. We've got a theory. We've got something that ties to Lord of the Rings, but we'll talk about that here in a bit.
We're in the office above next 2 offices. But
anyway, so we'll talk more about that later, though. About our Lord of the Rings tie-in. So episode 2.
If I can remember, because I don't have a cheat sheet in front of me. I remember it was about the Kindred, which is like Frankenstein. So if you think Frankenstein and think Benjamin Franklin being the mastermind behind it, yep, that's it pretty much. And so it's all about Ichabod and Abby, because now Jenny, she gets kind of arrested by the new head honcho.
Sheriff. There's a new sheriff in town, and it's a chick.
We hate.
It's a
right
chick,
now.
and she doesn't understand anything. She's basically what Irving was when he first came in, but with a bigger stick up her ass.
Oh, yeah. And she apparently knows Abby's and Jenny's mother, or knew.
Yeah.
So there's some story behind there that I bet they're going to draw out in the future. But anyway, Jenny's arrested. We have Irving, who's kind of in a mental ward or something.
Well, he's in prison at the beginning of the episode.
Right. And we'll get to that later. But so the whole thing is about Ichabod. He has this dream about Katrina being held, I think. Oh, she's in this weird ritual
She's
thing. Being married to, like, getting married to...
No, it was something, there was blood mixing involved. It was basically
some kind of bond.
It's a weird, gross thing, and it's all to, I don't even know, like,
something sinister.
Dark magic, that's what we'll say what it is. You don't want to, you see blood mixing, that's, know, that's dark stuff.
Yeah, and while Abby's trying to convince Ichabod that it was just a nightmare, Ichabod's really sure that it wasn't. It was like some kind of vision of the future or something, because he sees in this book later, he's like, that's the ritual I was in my dream and stuff. So it's all about trying to find a way to draw the horseman out in order to get to Katrina to save her.
No, when you say horseman, you mean headless.
Yes, the headless horseman.
Just say headless.
Two now. I forgot.
Yes, we call him headless.
Yes, the headless horseman, headless. And so they, I think it was Ichabod who remembered something about the Frankenstein, the kindred.
Of course.
And so that's what they pretty much been working on, was trying to create the kindred. And albeit it worked.
And they use Headless's head. They have to go fetch it out of
the bank.
Out of the bank, and oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like you can't trust people with a simple pin.
People trust you with their money, Ichabod says, but you don't trust them with a simple inkwell.
Yeah. Gotta love those Ichabod one-liners. And so, they had to get the head, and they had to create this, it's called Kindred, but Abby called it a Frankenstein, and, but it pretty much looks like a zombie.
Yeah, and basically Kindred was originally made to combat Headless during the Revolutionary War. But... obviously they didn't need Kindred then, so...
Did they use... I can't remember. Was it like some kind of lightning that brought it to life or something?
No, it was magic.
Yeah, that's right, because Ichabod
had to read he had to read the spell.
And then it didn't work, and he's like, maybe I said it wrong.
Anyway, let me try it again.
So he said it again. I didn't think he could perform magic.
Well, it was just like a spell, like...
An incantation,
Just like anybody could, like, I'm sure like Sam and Dean from Supernatural could.
Yeah, I mean, because they read from the book. Whatever that book, Psalms, I think. No.
It's John's. Yeah. John Winchester's journal.
No, the one when they send demons away.
Yeah, that's the
I thought it was a scripture verse.
No, it's an exorcism.
In Latin or something.
No, it's an exorcism.
Oh, well, anyway, we're getting off topic.
We're talking about Supernatural now. No, just kidding. We're on Sleepy Hollow.
So season 2, Kindred. So their plan works eventually. They create this kindred, and then think of like a body, just a body with attached head. It was like a suit of armor with an attached head or something like that.
It was a body.
It was a body?
It was a body.
Where was
reason
that?
why it was Frankenstein or Franklinstein, because it was a body. They had to get different body pieces of soldiers.
That's right.
Sew it together.
That's right.
And then the head was Headless.
That's right. And and then
because Headless was a soldier, so they had to use that to combat.
It's badass, really. Kindred lures the Headless Horseman out, and they battle.
Headless, and then War comes along, the embodiment
That's
of War.
right, and they tag team each other. And then so Ichabod uses this time to go and see Katrina, and then
try to rescue her,
yeah,
actually.
go rescue her. But then Katrina's like, nope, I'll just stay here and pretend to be a spy, or will be a spy, because I know I can find out their plan and stuff. And Ichabod doesn't like this idea.
There's some tears and stuff, and I was like, no, Katrina, you should probably go with them, even though I don't really like you that much. But because you're a witch, you could be really useful in this, so you should probably go with them.
Yeah,
but she's like, no, I'll be a spy.
Yeah, so she stays behind, and Ichabod comes back empty-handed, and
so essentially it was all for nothing.
Yeah,
but
hey, and then Kindred disappears somewhere. But okay, that's pretty much the episode, you would say.
Yeah, that's pretty much both episodes.
Yeah. So now our theory for the war. So
and Sleepy Hollow.
If you have seen what War looks like, the Horseman of War.
Basically, if you know, if you've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it's the Black Knight. It's the Black Knight.
Yeah.
The dude who's like, it's only a flesh wound. He's like bleeding out of his arms, and then all of a sudden he has no legs, and he's like, I will something you to death or whatever. I don't remember, but it was really funny.
Well, okay, so the actor, I cannot think of his name at the moment.
John Noble.
Yes, John Noble. He's the one who plays Henry / Sin Eater / what's his name? Not Henry, but
Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah. He plays him, and well, if you are a Lord of the Rings buff, he played in Lord of the Rings.
He played Denethor.
Yes.
King Denethor of Gondor.
Yes.
But he's, however, not the rightful king because that's Aragorn.
And so, and then you have the Horseman of War, which is, Jeremy's the Horseman of War. That's his
embodiment.
Yeah, his embodiment of his part in the apocalypse. And so, if you looked at the Horseman of War, he kind of looks like I don't even know. Considered a he, but anyway, it
would be he because ringwraiths are past kings.
Okay, so yeah, I was talking about the Horseman of War, though. I'm guessing it's a he.
Oh yeah,
since he doesn't really have a body. But anyway, he looks like I can't think of his name. What was the name? Ringwraith? No.
Yeah, he's a ringwraith.
Yeah,
He's the one that gets on the giant dragon-looking thing and attacks to try to attack Frodo.
Yes.
During one of the battles,
and then he gets killed by a sword into the face or to the hollowness.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not really how you kill him.
No, but she's like, I am a woman.
Yeah.
And, anyway,
Eowyn.
Yeah. She if she doesn't kill him, she wounds him. She does kill him, I thought.
No, you have to have a certain type of sword in order to kill him.
Oh. Well, because he's like, no man has killed me before or ever harmed me before, and then she just strikes him in the face with her sword. And so, yeah, they
talk.
What?
He didn't talk. Ringwraiths don't talk. You put the ring on, and you hear this giant screaming noise.
Okay. Well, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. Anyway, that's what the Horseman of War looks like. And so we have this really, really far-stretched theory.
I'm looking for your post because I wrote it down.
Yeah.
On your post, and I don't remember.
It was on Facebook.
I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm close.
It's a picture, right? I posted a picture on Twitter, Tumblr, and my personal Facebook, which I will not hand out. The base basically says, I see what you did there, or whatever.
I'm close.
And it parallels... I'm just trying to stall time.
Here we go.
Okay.
Found it.
Okay.
And it's loading.
Yeah. And then I will post this picture on our website so you can see the reference, because just talking about it would be like, what? Well, anyway.
So basically, we decided that since this is all tied together, that you could do. There's the Lord of the Rings tie-in here.
Yes.
So basically, we said it started out with the idea of a Sleepy Hollow Lord of the Rings crossover, in which Kimberly commented. She said, Denethor and the Witch King, which is the Ringwraith, joined forces to fight against Ichabod and Abby. And then I respond, I go, ooh, and then they could get help from Faramir, which is Denethor's son and Boromir's brother. And then Pippin and Gandalf, as well as the army of Gondor, to help them, and bam, the problem is solved. They've got the apocalypse taken care of. Yep. And then Kimberly goes, to defeat the Horsemen of War, all Sleepy Hollow needs is a woman with a sword, which would be Eowyn, who is the daughter of the king of Rohan.
Yes.
I'm really nerding out on you guys right now. I'm sorry. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I've read all the books, I've seen all the movies.
More so than me.
So then Kimberly goes, oh my god, so Moloch is the reincarnation of Sauron. And then she goes, or maybe Gollum, since they're both ugly. And I go, not Gollum. Smeagol doesn't have that kind of power. He's kind of a kook. But there's definitely a Sauron vibe off of War. So, but Kindred had more of a Gollum Smeagol feel. So then I said, Abby and Ichabod are definitely the Sleepy Hollow equivalent to Frodo and Samwise. Ginny and Captain Irving have certain parallels to Pippin and Merry, minus the whole, jokester thing that they have going on. But it's more so in Lord of the Rings. And then Sheriff Corbin, that was his name. The sheriff before...
See, she remembered it.
Irving. Sheriff Corbin is Gandalf, so he's going to come back on a white horse and dressed all in white, and he's going to be like, yes, I am Gandalf the White.
I bet he's... No.
But anyway, so,
Sorry.
And the founding fathers would be the Riders of Rohan, the Elves of Rivendell, and the Ents, the big tree people.
We are not trees.
And then Henry can double as Denethor, who wasn't really bad. He was just an asshole who just sort of gave up after his first son, Boromir, died. And the thought that Faramir, his younger son, was dead too was just too much. So he just sort of gave up and was going to set himself and Faramir on fire. But Pippin was like, no, Faramir's still alive, you dumbass. And so then Gandalf was like, oh, you're right. So then they go and stop him. I just summed up a whole 20-minute scene from Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, and I remember you said something about the fire.
Yes, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So
foreshadow.
So then Saruman. Henry could also double as Saruman. So those are the parallels. And if you read Lord of the Rings or you've seen Lord of the Rings, you'll know. Saruman is basically, he's the person who enacts all of Sauron's plans. But the fire.
It was
with
fire.
The war with the Horsemen of War. He's got the sword made of fire, and the horse breathes fire.
Did you have it in the comments?
I did not put that in the comments. We mentioned it through text.
Okay, hang on. Now I'm on a minute.
No, but I think it was the.
I feel like there's a find function
through text, yeah.
Find. No find. It's gonna probably be way up here.
But yeah, I think it was the idea that in Lord of the Rings, John Noble's character Denethor sets his son on fire, tries to set him, or he eventually does set himself on fire too.
That's it. He sets his son.
And he sets his son and himself on fire, and that's when Pippin and Gandalf come in and are like, "No, he's not dead, you dumbass." So I can't remember if Denethor does die or not.
He does, because he pushes his son out of the fire, and then he gets in because he sprays the oil all over himself.
Yeah,
and then he's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
And so he
because I remember specifically he goes running down the hall.
Running down the hall, and then I think
he's on fire.
He's on fire, and then he jumps off the ledge thing. And he falls and he's like flaming to death or whatever.
Yeah. So that's
fire.
But yeah, like.
And then he had the sword that kills, Eowyn, is her name?
Eowyn, Ewoyn.
Yeah, she has the sword. So, and then she strikes.
No, because the wraith, I think, goes and stabs her after she does that. We're talking about Lord of the Rings now when we're supposed to be talking about Sleepy Hollow, but
well, anyway.
But yeah, so that's our Lord of the Rings Sleepy Hollow crossover theory. I think it would be really funny if they had someone.
It was explained better on Facebook.
It was like I went through. Well, I just basically read the comments, so
yeah.
But yeah, it's entertaining, and we got really excited about it.
We have a lot of like crossover information and stuff swirling around in our heads, and it's just so much swimming and swirling that it's really hard to put it into words. It's there. The idea is there. But sometimes it's hard to translate it and not get too excited. So that's pretty much about every kind of show we can cross over with other shows.
So what was your favorite part? Let's talk about episode 1 first. Like, what was some of like your favorite parts of episode 1?
Definitely, like I love Ichabod one-liners. My favorite ones was the one we mentioned about the him on his phone trying to record. He's like, and none of that recorded. And then another favorite part was when he uses the ambulance to break into the building, the warehouse that Jenny was at. And so when he gets there, Jenny comes and she's like, okay, go, and reverse. And he's like, okay.
He's just pressing random buttons.
And then she said, you don't know how to reverse? And then he's like, I just learned to drive today, or whatever. And so they switch spots. And I just love that whole scene. I really, even though it wasn't funny, I just really loved how they portrayed purgatory as almost like the real reality, and because I'm thinking, years past tense, wow. Because it makes sense, because it's been such a long time since season 1 ended. Yeah.
It's been just about a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really long time. And so I really liked how towards, like, the first part of the show, you see that it isn't, because you see Henry's face distorting, and it's just like, that's so creepy. But I, for one, love how Fox computerizes things, because it looks real, unlike like ABC with Once Upon a Time.
Oh god.
Don't let us.
Well, this is like some shows on Fox. Like, it really depends on who they've hired for
they really do a good
CGI
job
and stuff.
In the CGI department of Sleepy Hollow. They really do a good job.
Yeah.
And,
so A+ to the visual effects team there at Sleepy Hollow. You guys are fantastic.
What about you for episode 1?
Episode 1. Episode 1. No, episode 1. I can't talk today, I swear. I don't know how I'm speaking right now.
She took a grammar test. Oh, no, she had a
No,
grammar test.
that was Friday. But anyway.
She's grammed out.
So, some of my favorite moments. I agree with Kimberly about Ichabod attempting to record the video and his attempting to drive.
He needs to learn how to drive. It would be helpful.
Jenny's escape from Parrish's Men was pretty epic.
Oh, yeah.
Just anything with Ben Franklin. As a history nerd, I absolutely loved all that stuff.
The alphabet, that was good.
Oh, that was clever too. The little alphabet was that was in the second episode.
It was the failed alphabet. No, it wasn't.
Was it?
Because he was. No, it was in the first episode because he's like, I remember how to read it or whatever.
Oh, because it was the key to finding the key.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
The roadmap for it.
Yeah, I love anything with Ben Franklin. So I really liked his quote, "The key to success lies underneath the alarm clock," which was completely a hint there because they actually did find the key.
Yeah.
Underneath a clock tower in Sleepy Hollow, which was really cool.
Clock tower.
Meanwhile, our
campus
bell is going off, saying it is 1:00. Abby I thought she was just kind of a little bit of a badass in Purgatory. I liked the sequence when she goes up to the mirror and all the bats fly. And we see that again in episode 2 with the bats. They have to duck for the bats. my sister and I sort of had a bit of a laughing fit. We're like, oh no, now she's going to become Batman. But anyway, and it's really funny because the Batman show Gotham is on right before Sleepy Hollow, so we we connected that. It was really funny. But anyway, and then when Ichabod gets to Purgatory, or just before he gets to Purgatory, and we see that Abby's talking to Ichabod, but it's not our Ichabod. It's not the right. It's something that Moloch had conjured up in Purgatory to make her think. And right as she's about to drink something, because if she drinks something offered to her by someone from Purgatory, she'll have to stay there forever and ever and ever. But Ichabod comes just in time, and he says, but this fake Ichabod says something about Lieutenant, and Abby then goes and does she decapitate him?
Yeah, and
she decapitates him.
How did you know that was not me?
And Ichabod goes, how did you know that was not me? And Abby's like, he didn't say Lieutenant, because that's what he calls her. He calls her Lieutenant Mills, because that's a very British thing.
He pays attention to that.
Yeah.
Details.
Yeah.
With the whole drinking the water, or drinking the
drinking
substance,
or eating something.
Or yeah. That reminds me, was it, you wrote your paper on it for the McKendry, or the review, and it was Persephone?
Yes, Persephone.
Doesn't that have something to do with it, where you eat, if you eat food
if you eat, she ate the
fruit or whatever.
Was it a pomegranate? Yeah. She ate a pomegranate, which is another reason why Persephone has to stay in the underworld, married to Hades. And cannot return to Earth only but once a year.
I remember
or twice a year. So,
I thought that was interesting. I wonder if there's some tie-in. I don't know.
That's probably the idea of that. That's probably where the writers got the idea that if you drink or eat something while in Purgatory that's offered you by someone from Purgatory, you have to stay there. So those are basically my favorite moments from episode 1. So episode 2.
If I can, I just love the whole Ichabod enchanting that spell and it not working, and then he's just like, maybe I said it wrong. Let me do it again. And then so he rewinds and starts pronouncing it again. I just love that part of. I can't remember much what happened.
I liked the scene in the bank.
Yes, the bank. That was hilarious.
I also liked the several times where Abby went to go visit Irving to try to figure out a way to either get him out or just get him closer, because since he knows, he's kind of key to their survival in this whole thing.
Yeah.
I sort of liked seeing Headless with a head, how the whole little magic necklace thing goes, where Katrina can see Headless as, again, with the head, well, who he really is.
Sebastian, is that his name? No, it's not Sebastian.
I don't remember. No, it's not Sebastian. I don't remember.
It's a dude. It's a dude with a name.
It's a dude with a name, who she was originally supposed to marry. And then she's like, no, I don't like you, and I'm going to go with Ichabod now. And dude's like, no, don't do that. And then, anyway, that was in season 1. But we're on season 2 now. So, what were the other songs?
Chair.
Squeaky, awkward squeakiness.
Episode 2.
Other favorite moments.
Well, we have the bank. That was a good one. It's not really funny, but I really liked how it seemed like both Irving and Jenny were taking one for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Irving, obviously, his came about from the previous season, where his daughter was being controlled by... possessed by a demon. Was it? I don't think it was Moloch.
No, it was one of Moloch's minions.
Yeah, minions. And she killed, as the demon, she killed several officers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so Captain Irving
took the fall.
He took the fall for it because his daughter is, handicapped.
Mm-hmm. She's
And-
in a wheelchair. She's played by the girl who played Rue
Yeah,
in
she's
Hunger
a
Games.
she's a younger girl, probably.
I think they said like 13 or 14 or
Yeah,
something
so,
like that.
you know, obviously a father will protect their child any way possible.
Yeah.
And so he takes a fall for that. And they all think he's crazy, but we all know that he's not.
Yeah.
And then we have Jenny.
Well, they don't necessarily think he's
Oh.
crazy yet until he says this is really what happened. And
Yeah.
because Abby convinces him that he needs to take the insanity plea
Yeah.
in order to get into the mental institution so that they can have him a little closer, whereas if he were in prison, he was a little farther away and he would be less help to them.
Yeah, and at least in the mental institution, they can visit him easier.
Yeah. So, and I think...
Oh, and with Jenny, she, they were in the archives room of the police department.
Yeah, she went to go get the weapons.
Isn't it across the street from the building? Like
no,
underneath?
it's underneath.
That's right, and they have a way to get through it under tunnels and stuff.
She went to go get weapons to go fight Headless.
And then the new boss, she catches Jenny with all of these weapons.
Guns and...
Yeah, and so since Jenny kind of, violated her parole and technically wasn't released from the mental place that she was in, that she was arrested. And, Abby was trying to get her out, but Jenny's like, you know what, just let me stay here until this whole thing blows over. So, now we just have Ichabod and Abby trying to find a way to defeat Moloch again or whatever. Or Moloch can never come out of purgatory because they destroyed the key. Or no, the key, it was a one-time use.
It was a one-time use. So, and meanwhile, Henry is receiving shit from Moloch for letting them get away with this.
Yup.
So,
and Kindred's out there walking around. So
now, at the end of the episode, Kindred's just sort of out there. We don't know.
He's like Frankenstein. Frankenstein just wanders off away from, Frankenstein, the creator. And so it's kind of like that whole thing. Frankenstein wanders off. So I'm just wondering if anybody normal, any humans are just going to be like, oh my god, zombie, it's the apocalypse! Yeah, that's what they'll probably do. And then you have Dean be like, super zombie! From our fan fiction. If you've read it, and if you listen to us babble, you probably have read at least some of it, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, super zombies.
Super zombies.
That crossover has to happen now. If we bring in Sleepy Hollow, just like sneak it, and he's like, "See, I told you, super zombies. We should." They exist. Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. How are you guys? Our minds are crumbling as we approach almost mid-semester. And we start thinking about super zombies. But yeah, so bringing it back in, what do you think? What do you think is in store for this season?
Army of super zombies. No, that'd be
for
fun.
the rest of the season, particularly tonight's episode.
Tonight's episode, I can't remember if they showed a preview.
They showed the preview. I do not
remember
it.
Well, anyway.
We could watch it, but
it could be
our
interesting.
Wi-Fi isn't all that great here.
I know that that to make the Kindred, that they used the head of the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting if they find ways to make more. Kind of serve as an army, in a way, against Moloch and his army, and against Delsa, the Headless Horseman. I definitely think Henry, he's not gonna take shit anymore. He's really, because he's getting a mouthload from Moloch enough as it is.
Yeah.
And so I definitely think Henry is going to do something in this episode. The point where he's like, okay, I've been playing with you long enough. This is the real, you're dealing with the big boy now. Yeah. Kind of thing. And I honestly cannot remember the next episode.
I don't remember the trailer. What I look forward to this season is seeing more of the history and stuff.
Oh, I love the twistery.
The twistery, yes. The twisted history. I look forward. I really like Ben Franklin. I think I said this earlier.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing more of him this season because I don't know. I just like this portrayal of him. I think he's fantastic.
I find it interesting how Ichabod seems to be apprentice of every single founding father.
He worked with George Washington and all this stuff, but now
and Paul Revere, he knew.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I think now that Katrina is a spy, I think this is a huge turning point for the home team.
Yeah.
So as long as she can get info to them without Headless and Henry and Moloch finding out, I think things will definitely be in Team Witness, Team Ickaby's favor.
You see, in the first season, they've had a heavy focus on kind of Ichabod's former relationship with George Washington. Like, George Washington and all the knowledge that he gave to Ichabod really impacted what happened in the first season. And now they've brought in Benjamin Franklin. And I have a feeling that Benjamin Franklin's going to have a strong presence, at least the knowledge that he gave onto Ichabod in this season, because Benjamin Franklin was an inventor. So, and I have a feeling that the things that he invented were not just for the invention, and it was definitely, I think, something to go towards this apocalypse or whatever.
I really hope they tie in
the bifocals. I think they would have that. That won't be just bifocals. Maybe they're there to see invisible spirits or something. I don't know.
This is what they're used for. They're used to see an invisible map on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Really?
Because that's what happened.
I know. Now,
in National Treasure.
Maybe there's like some kind of map on the back of the Declaration of Independence that shows them how to defeat Moloch or something. Or like the map to something else.
Nicolas Cage is going to come in and he's going to personally seal the map of the Declaration of Independence.
And they're like, no, we need that to fight the apocalypse.
No, seal the Declaration of Independence for them. So you're like, I'm going to seal the Declaration of Independence.
Well, no, I think Ichabod, that'd be funny if he starts to walk in and try to get, well, no, it's under a glass case, that's right.
It's under a glass case, and there's all sorts of, I remember specifically everything from that scene.
I'd love to see Ichabod have a one-liner about the Declaration of Independence compared to modern days.
Yeah. What if, speaking of the Declaration of Independence, what if, because the Founding Fathers were all about preparing for the future apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
What if there are hints within the Declaration of Independence that were left for Ichabod and Abby?
Ooh. Or even the Constitution.
Yeah, the Constitution was written well after.
That's true.
But
the Declaration of Independence.
Quite after. The Constitution was written after the war. The Declaration of Independence was written before or
during?
Just before.
No, yeah.
Just before.
Because then they went into war because this was their declaration for independence to send to Britain and everything.
Yeah. So what if there are hints within? Because we already found out that there was stuff in George Washington's Bible.
Yes.
That he left for Ichabod. So what if there are, even further, there are hints within the Declaration of Independence?
I am currently looking up a list of Benjamin Franklin's inventions.
The harpsichord. There's something with the harpsichord. There's gotta be.
What's that? Is that the
It's a piano type thing. It's like a piano type thing, and it's like, it's really cool. It's got like a really stringy sound.
Okay, so we have the bifocals. He did not invent. He discovered electricity.
Yeah.
The lightning rod.
Yeah.
Maybe it's to collect energy from the earth, like lightning, to collect it and store it somewhere. That way, if they need to, they can make weapons that harness that power.
So they can kill Headless and war.
They could be like Zeus and just like...
There is a master bolt of lightning there that only Ichabod can hold, or Abby can hold.
The Franklin stove. A metal-lined fireplace that stands in the middle of a room. Maybe they can...
They use it to contact the dead.
I was gonna say roast the horseman's head, but I was like, no, that's kindred now. Or maybe he could store a body or something. I don't know. Mapping the Gulf. No, that's. Oh well, he mapped the Gulf Stream. Maybe there's a map underneath that map.
Ooh.
Swim fins. You never know; those could be useful. They're like slippers for your hands. They could be useful in case they have to go underwater. I don't know. Or maybe they're insulators for something underwater. I don't know. Because water has like an electrical current going through it all the time. So maybe they're insulators because they have to grasp.
Just reminding you guys, these are just random crackpot theories that we think that they could use these different inventions.
Glass harmonica. That's the cool crystal glass spinning thingy.
Yeah.
That if you touch it, it makes sound and stuff.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. I got excited and said harpsichord. Yeah.
A glass harmonica. What if the music that it plays somehow contacts the dead or contacts, or maybe it lures the dead for them to kill. I don't know. Or the music. I think the music would have something to do with.
It puts Headless in a trance.
Yeah. Like Fluffy. Harry Potter.
Okay, so really what they need the Philosopher's Stone. And they're going to use the glass harmonica to put Headless to sleep.
I don't know how much use this would have, but flexible urinary catheter.
Ben Franklin really invented the catheter?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Franklin say catheters, tubes inserted through the urethra into the bladder to drain urine from the body, were rigid and quite painful. Franklin devised a catheter with a flexible tube. John, Ben's older brother, suffered from kidney stones, and so Ben found a way to ease some of the discomfort. I spelled discomfort wrong. For his brother.
Wow. That's really interesting. I never knew that.
The odometer? Well, they use that in cars.
Yeah.
Now, so we're good with that. The long arm, I don't know what it's like it was like a grabber, stuff to grab.
Yeah.
The first version of that you never know, you might need to get a really high book that's resourceful. or maybe it's like a weapon where you hit someone with it and it like electrocutes them or something, I don't know.
No, that's what the lightning rod's for.
Well, maybe it's an extension of the lightning rod. Maybe if you cross the lightning rod and this together, because what I'm looking at, the long arm, it's like literally looks like a 2-pronged fork. And maybe if you cross them together, like, Ghostbusters. And cross the streams. You cross them together.
Cross the streams and reverse the polarity. It just makes Ghostbusters and Doctor Who. You're welcome.
And then air bath. That's what he was taking. Air bath. Daylight saving time. That came useful in National Treasure.
It came very,
You never know. It might be useful in this, maybe.
In this situation.
For some reason.
Let's hope. Cross our fingers.
Yeah.
I think that would be very interesting.
That's about it. That's about all of his, well-known inventions. I'm sure he's invented more stuff.
I think, if they find one of those things to use, I think it'd be really cool if they use the glass harmonica some way.
Yeah, or the lightning rod and don't cross the streams. I can just see Ichabod trying to play the glass harmonica, and he plays it poorly. So, those are kind of our random theories.
Yeah.
Very, very random.
Very, very random. But it's interesting, and they're fun little tidbits. We just got a history lesson about different things that Franklin learned, discovered, not learned.
So if you have to use the catheter, Remember, Benjamin Franklin made it more comfortable for you to use.
So, on that
note. Sorry.
But yeah, so we plan on our next episode. We plan on doing
Shield, maybe
doing a review of the next of episodes 1 and 2 of Shield. Maybe 3 because we plan on recording on Wednesday, but
yes. Today's Monday.
Yeah, but if things don't go right, as far as time wise, if we get out of our class super late or that sort of thing.
Yep.
We'll probably record maybe Friday or something.
Yeah.
So. So then, yeah.
And well, that was Sleepy Hollow 1 and 2 and our crazy brain stuff.
Yeah.
Like I told you, a lot of swimming jello in here, just waiting to be purged out. You'd think English majors / writing major would figure out words to say. Anyway,
but yeah, so
that's Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, so I guess that pretty much does it for this episode. So our contact info
is on our website.
On our website, which is
good question.
womenofletters.wix.com/something bigger.
Right? I think so. I'm typing stuff. That's not how you spell women. Something like that. It's on our website.
Yeah, it'll be on our YouTube site.
Yeah.
In the description. You can email us at somethingbigger001@gmail.com. You can find us on Tumblr, which is xx something bigger xx.
She's very good at this.
I am very good at this.
I don't get it.
Our Twitter.
And I created these things, but I can't remember.
Our Twitter, you can tweet at us. Tell us what you think is going to happen with Sleepy Hollow, or if you want to talk to us about Shield, or just anything.
At SBNerdcast.
At SBNerdcast. And then finally Facebook, which is Something Bigger, a Nerdcast podcast on Facebook.
Yeah, all these links will be in the description box. Because you'll probably be like, what? I can't remember all this stuff.
You can check out our Tumblrs.
This guy looks stormy. Anyway, check out our Tumblrs. Mine is WriterFreaks001.
And mine is...
That's Kimberly, by the way.
And mine is Badger and the Tigers 11. I remember all those, but I don't remember my own.
Yeah.
So you can check us out there. Also, lots of shows premiering this week. The Originals.
Yes, CW's
premieres tonight. The Originals premieres tonight. What else is on tonight?
I think that's Supernatural special.
There's a special on Supernatural, so you can check that out. Because the whole 10 seasons thing, and then tomorrow
Castle is on tonight.
Yeah, Castle's on tonight.
Forever is really good. On tonight.
Also, The Blacklist, if you are a fan of that show. Yep, that's on tonight. On NBC. Mm-hmm. You can also Sleepy Hollow is on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned that at the top of the show. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow is on tonight, and then tomorrow is The Flash and Supernatural. Wednesday is
Shield.
Oh, and Shield.
And I think Scorpion. Yeah, I think Scorpion's on Tuesdays.
As well as Person of Interest.
Yes.
And then Wednesday we have Arrow premiering with season 3.
And then Flash to play again.
Are they really?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Cool. So then Thursday is just Vampire Diaries, I think.
Wednesday is also Nashville, if you're a Nashville fan. What? Sorry. Thursday, Bones, you have
Vampire Diaries.
Rain. I think Bones is the most.
Grace Point. Grace Point with David Tennant.
Yeah, Bones and Grace Point probably the better of the 4 shows.
Yeah. And then Friday you have Hawaii Five-0. You have Blue Bloods. I don't think CW has anything.
Friday, no, that's more like Whose Line Is It Anyway or something like that. What's on Friday?
Can't remember. There's lots of things on Friday.
Oh, there's I mean,
Interesting
if you
things.
watch Disney Channel, well, I don't watch it that much, but Girl Meets World usually plays on Fridays. They played on Thursday for some reason last week, but anyway.
Yeah.
Friday.
I don't think anything.
Friday. No. I can't think of anything else.
So yeah.
You know your shows.
So yeah. But definitely check those out. And let us know what your favorite show is that you're excited for this week. If you want, tweet at us or Facebook us or email us or whatever.
And Sunday's Once Upon a Time and Revenge. Saturday, I got nothing.
Yep. So, all right. So yeah,
I think that's
it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
We probably forgot some shows, but we don't watch every single freaking show on the planet.
Oh, Walking Dead premieres Sunday. Walking Dead premieres Sunday. I'm so excited about that.
I don't think there's anything on Friday night.
I think just 5-0 and Blue Bloods.
I don't watch anything.
I watch those. Constantine will be airing, but that's later this month. That'll be a Friday night show. I think Grimm.
Grimm. I love Grimm.
So
yes, that's.
So yeah, so that's what's premiering this week, and that's what's on this week. So yeah.
Yeah. My advice to you: do your homework first.
Yes. If you're a college student or a high school student or whatever,
I do, and she does.
I will sit and watch my TV shows while I'm doing homework sometimes. Like, I was marathoning The Blacklist all last week. I'd sit there and do homework while I was marathoning The Blacklist on Netflix so I could catch up. That is one good show. But anyway, it stars James Spader, who is going to be Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm really excited about that. But anyway, that's me nerding out. So, we'll see you hopefully Wednesday, if not, probably Friday or whenever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I guess, is that a wrap?
Yeah. I'm just looking up Friday shows because I need to know. Is this? No. It says Supernatural's on Friday.
So, no.
That's on Monday. I see.
Yeah.
I see what it is. It's by date.
Alright, so, I guess...
It's a wrap. I just don't mind.
Alright, well, for Something Bigger, Nerdcast Episode 7, I am Emily.
And I am Kimberly.
See you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.